Shanti Shanti.
When one comes to realize the truth, he does not anymore gets into argument of that kind. If people wants to understand, he will explain. Those who want to inquire, he will explain. But he will not argue to establish his point of view as the supreme, as the superior one. That is why in Shankaracharya's Praudhanubhuti, he says that Dvaitadvaita vivarjite samarase maunam param sammatam. Dvaitadvaita vivarjite samarase maunam param sammatam. That real samarasa is not Advaita even. Earlier we said that Advaya Bhumi is the Sama. But truly speaking, this Advaya Bhumi is transcending Dvaita and Advaita. They are also constituting a duality. We are meditating on Advaita to remove the Dvaita. Dvaitadvaita vivarjite. Finally, when Dvaita is removed by Advaita, Dvaitadvaita vivarjite, samarase, that is the real samatva, that is the paramam samyam. Then what happens? Samarase, maunam param sammatam. Because you cannot express it, that is beyond words, because all the words, all the expressions are within the ken of duality. So you reach the transcendental level. So such a person will never be ativadi, he will not try to argue and establish. Suppose a believer is arguing to establish God and a non-believer is trying to refute that there is God, trying to establish the concept of no God. Now the realized person will think that both the people, they are believing in their concept. One person is believing in his concept of God, another person is believing in his concept of no God. Both are arguing for nothing. The truth is in the persons. The reality, the real I in the believer and the real I in the non-believer, they are not different. There is only one I, only one consciousness which is expressing through the different people. And the believer is arguing based on that I only. Without that consciousness, he would not have been able to argue. And the non-believer who believes in the concept of no God, actually he is not a non-believer. He is also a believer, but he believes in the concept of no God. So he is also having his non-belief or belief in the concept of no God based on his I. Without the consciousness, he would not have it. So the truth lies in that I in both. So a person who has realized this truth, he will not get into such arguments at all, because he understands that both are missing the truth there. So, Vijanan Vidwan Bhavate Nativadi. Then what does he do? Atma Krida Atma Ratihi Kriyavan Esha Brahma Vidam Varishtha. Even if you go to, we have already done on the 2.2.5, that is second Mundaka, second chapter, 5th verse. There you will find Yasmin Dyauh Prithivi Chantariksham Otam Manassaha Pranaishcha Sarvaihi Tamevaikam Janatha Atmanam Anya Vacho Vimunchatha Amritasya Isha Setuhu. He said Anya Vacho Vimunchatha. It's a direct instructions to the seekers that leave all our words, all other words. Don't argue on various other things. What happens to this, what happens to that, various vibhutis, Atma going here, there, etc. No, nothing is necessary for a person who wants to realize the truth. Nothing is necessary. Tam eva ekam atmanam janatha. Tam evam ekam atmanam janatha. Know that one Atma and that alone. Know that Atma, one Atma and that alone, not the various Atmas moving from here to there. The Atma is all pervading, even all pervading is not a correct expression. The all is appearing in that Atma. He says that all other words you leave. Anya vacho vimunchatha amritasya isha setuhu. Then this is the bridge to immortality. When you concentrate, when you focus on that one Atma which is everywhere, which is on which the whole world is manifest. So the Upanishads, they constantly caution us about not to get trapped by these arguments and various logics and all, because that will take us mind away from the truth which is beyond arguments. Even in Kathopanishad, Yamaraja tells Nachiketa, when he was very happy with Nachiketa, he said that, "Oh Nachiketa, you are," he said, "Satya Dhritir Batasi." Satya Dhritir Batasi. That means, "Oh Nachiketa, you are Satya Dhruti." Dhruti means the retention. Buddhi, Dhruti. Buddhi means understanding, and Dhruti means whatever we have understood, we have to retain it. So that is the Dhruti. He tells that, "Nachiketa, you are really a Satya Dhruti," that you can hold the truth. The moment the truth is told, you understand it and you can hold it. You never leave the truth at all. May more and more disciples like you come to us, Yamaraja says. There he says, "Naisha tarkena matirapaneya, na esha tarkena matirapaneya." That this Satya Dhruti, this mind, the pure mindset you have got, you have now, it should not be lost by tarka, by arguments. This mindset cannot be had also through arguments. It can be attained through purity alone, and it should not be lost through arguments. So the Upanishads are repeatedly cautioning about this argumentative way, or not to get lost in the mystery of logic and establishing what I think is true or what others think that is not right. So this is an effect of this realization. He says, "Vijanan vidvan bhavate nativadi." So he does not become an ativadi. This is one effect of this discovery. Then others, "Atma krida, atma ratihi, kriyavan, eshaha brahmavidam varishthaha." Three things he has said here. Atma krida, atma ratihi, then kriyavan. Atma krida means he plays with his atma, his soul. One thing is that whatever he does, the whole, everything, he does not have anything other than atma. Sarva bhutastham atmanam, sarva bhutani cha atmani, ikshate yoga yuktatma, sarvatra samadarshana. See, this samadarshana is coming again and again and again. Samadarshana, when it is introduced as samatva in Bhagavad Gita, siddhya siddhyo samobhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. That it is a samatva, evenness of the attitude in siddhi and asiddhi, means success or failure. People may think that it is very simple. It is only to keep evenness in success in our project and failure in our project, to take both equally. It is not just that. To attain that, really that samatva has to come to a much, much deeper and higher level. So he says, "Sarva bhutastham atmanam, sarva bhutani cha atmani, ikshate yoga yuktatma, sarvatra samadarshanaha." He says, for such a person, his atma is in everybody, is in everything. Sarva bhutastham atmanam, sarva bhutani cha atmani, and all the bhutas, everything is in his atma. He is in everywhere and everything is in him. Ikshate yoga yuktatma. He is a yoga yukta atma. Now don't forget our illustration. When we said yoga yukta atma means, it is when the birds have got fused. That bird which was a slave to the objective situation around, it has discovered its real identity. It has got fused. Now it knows my real identity is not a slave. It is absolutely free. It is unaffected. With that awareness, he deals with the objects, everything he interacts with. Now this is a yoga yukta atma. Ikshate yoga yukta atma. Ikshana. Ikshana means it is a vision of the buddhi. It is not pashyana. Pashyana means seeing with the eyes. He is not seeing with the eyes. With the eyes, whatever sees, it is the same. An ignorant man and a wise man both see the same things with their eyes. There is no difference at all. But the ikshana is absolutely different. For a yoga yukta atma, the ikshana is sarvatra samadarshanaha, that he finds everywhere it is the same self, same Brahman, same consciousness. When we say like this, you may think that again consciousness, I am saying it is like space or something we are seeing as same. It is not an object nothing in the objective at all. It is not an object. It is not the objective space also, which is uniform everywhere. Even space is uniform. But it is not like that. It is in which the whole space, time, matter, the whole concept of the universe is appearing to be. We are talking about that. So that is the ikshana of a yoga yuktatma, sarvatra samadarshana. That comes from there. So he can play only with the Atma, because everywhere is Atma. What else he will play with? And what else he will take pleasure in? Atma krida, Atma ratihi. Krida means he plays with the Atma, and Atma ratihi means he revels in the Atma. Ratihi is inside, and krida means you are playing. It is an interactive state. And rati is just reveling within. So he revels only in Atma. The other day I said, Rabindranath's song, that those who have given me sukha, through sukha they have given your touch, and those who have given me dukkha, through dukkha they have given your touch, O Lord. So I prostrate before all of them, those who have given me sukha and those who have given me dukkha. Because both through sukha and dukkha I have got your touch, O Lord. That means he is finding that Atma in both sukha and dukkha. So he revels in sukha and he revels in dukkha also in a different manner. You may not accept it, but really we can enjoy the dukkha much more than sukha, because in dukkha our mind goes to a much deeper level. In sukha we may not go to that deeper level, that deep level. In dukkha it goes still deeper. So sukha and dukkha in both, provided we are not hating dukkha, hating suffering, we are not greedy after sukha or greedy after something enjoyable, pleasant, etc. We can embrace both with equality. That is the samarasa. So Atma krida, Atma ratihi, kriyavan, kriyavan. Now he is using the word kriya. We have to be very careful. He is not saying karmavan. Generally when we use karma, we mean that this karma is desire motivated. We generally in the Shastras we say avidya kama karma. That is because of ignorance, because of the ignorant identity that I am small, I have to get this, I have to get that. For being happy, I have to get this. Because of this, the desire for other things generate. And to be happy, we do karma. That is desire motivated karma. But the activity we are talking about here is desireless. It is not motivated by any desire that by doing this I will become happy. When an action is desireless, we call it kriya. He is a kriyavan. It is just like the whole universe. If you look at the universe, how much of activities are going on? We cannot even imagine. The galaxies are getting born, the galaxies are getting destroyed, all the planets and the stars, they are moving around everywhere with tremendous unimaginable speed. What sort of activities are going on? Can we imagine? But there is no desire anywhere at all. It is all natural kriya. We call it kriya. So for a knower also, he is not a doer, but he does much more than other people also. He may do much more than other people. What did Shankaracharya do? How much in those few years, how much he roamed around the whole country, and how many compositions he have made, how many tika, tippani he has written. With all this work, how could he do all this? Is it not a huge action there? But it is not karma. It is all kriya. It is naturally coming out of his personality. Whatever works that personality can do, and whatever work is needed by the circumstances, by the society, by the globe, he goes on doing naturally. There is no desire at all. So we don't call it karma. So a knower becomes a kriyavan, not karma. See, in Shvetashvatara it comes again and again. In one shloka of Shvetashvatara Upanishad, he says, Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate न तत्समश्चाभ्यधिकश्च दृश्यते परास्य शक्तिर्विविधैव श्रूयते स्वाभाविकी ज्ञानबलक्रिया च. He says, natasya karyam, he does not have any work at all to be done. I have to do this, I have to do that, I have done this, I have done that. Nothing. Natasya karyam, karanam cha vidyate. He does not have the implements to do also, karanam. He does not have hands and feet, any fragmented form to perform anything in this world. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate. Natat samaha cha abhyadikascha drishyate. You cannot find anything equal to him or even surpassing him at all in this. Because everything we see in this universe is all manifest in him. He is the substratum of everything. On him everything is taking refuge. In him everything is taking refuge. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate natat samaha cha abhyadikascha drishyate parasyar shaktir vividhaiva shruyate. He says that asya parashaktihi vividha swabhavika jnana balakriya cha shruyate. All the Vedas sing about, shruyate means it is in the Shrutis, all the Vedas they sing about his parashaktihi, his supreme power. What is that? Which is appearing as vividha, which is appearing as manifold in this world. And what is that? Jnana balakriya. Jnana balakriya cha. Swabhaviki jnana balakriya cha. Swabhaviki means it is sahaja, it is not effortful, it is not motivated by any desire. It is swabhaviki. And jnana balakriya, it is the power coming out of the wisdom. Wisdom means it is not a dual wisdom. Jnana is the advaya jnana, the consciousness. That is the power. And the kriya coming out of that, all the actions, they are in that. In Mundakopanishad itself, in the beginning, we have seen that tapasa chiyate brahma tatonnam abhijayate. Then in the next verse he says, yas sarvajnaha sarvavid yasya jnanamayam tapaha. That the whole creation has come out of the austerity of the Brahman. What kind of austerity? He does not have hands and feet and all. He cannot do any austerity like fasting or standing on one leg or even meditating or anything of that sort he cannot do. So what is the austerity? He says, yasya jnanamayam tapaha. His austerity is jnanamaya, in the consciousness. It is an austerity in the consciousness. Chiyate means swelling, that as if the Brahman is swelling in that. Swelling means it is appearing as the whole universe. Swelling is the word used. But actually this appearance of the whole universe in the consciousness is out of the swabhaviki jnana balak kriya. That is how the whole universe is appearing to be. So here this kriyavan is extremely important. It is not that a knower does not work, but he does not get engaged in any desire motivated activity. The basic problem is with our desires, because right from the beginning, the moment the ignorance has covered our real identity, we are thinking we are small, and getting something we will become happy. If we look into ourselves, we will find that whatever we are doing right from childhood, we have a feeling that by doing this I will get something, some gain will be there, and by which I will become happy. And that makes us work. But whatever we do, we never become permanently happy. Maybe the happiness comes for a few moments or few hours or so. immediately other desires come over. They take its place. And again we suffer. We run after to fulfill that desire. So throughout life we are running after fulfilling our desires. But what is that motivating us? What is motivating the desires? It is because of the feeling that I will become happy by getting that. We don't look around the world and find that nobody has ever become happy by doing anything. The richest person, the most famous person, nobody has become permanently happy unless they have discovered their own self. So it is a delusion after which we are running, that by getting something different from me, I will become happy. The day we leave that mad rush and we come back to ourselves, suppose a seeker, when he gets into meditation and he forgets, normally in the beginning he will always be distracted by again the various things of the world, because that by habit still occupies, all those things will occupy his mind. So he will go on thinking various things, even while trying to meditate. But if at all he can get rid of all the vrittis of the world, all the thoughts about the world, all thoughts about himself also, when he forgets the whole world including himself, then suddenly he gets flooded with bliss, what we call the joy. He gets flooded with the joy. Now what is that situation? He is not in contact with anything at all, anything worldly, not only material contact, in his mind also he is not in contact with anything dual there. He is not imagining something or thinking of some attainment that he has become happy or is flooded with bliss. Because he is not engaged in anything different from him, when he is in himself, then he finds that joy floods him, because that is a property of our soul. It is swabhaviki. The ananda is swabhavik. It is spontaneous in us. But because our mind is always troubled, always distracted, we are not feeling that joy. The moment we are able to get rid of all the thoughts of the mind, we get filled with joy. Then we discovered that for nothing I am running after things, thinking that it will make me joyous. Actually, joy is within. I don't have to run after anything for becoming joyous. The joy is flowing out from within. So will he always remain then in meditation? No, he need not. Once he discovers this, he need not remain in meditation. Remaining in meditation means when he comes out, again he loses his joy. And again he wants to get into the meditation. Our personality, the mind, the organs of activity, everything is given not to make them functionless at all. But when he thinks that the joy is not outside but within me, he no longer does anything thinking of any gain, that I will do this and this will give me this and then only I will become happy. That attitude gets completely changed. So he does not want to become happy by getting anything from outside, because he knows my swabhava is happiness. I am, by very nature, I am embodiment of joy. So he no longer looks for joy from anywhere in the world also at all. He becomes Atma Krida, Atma Ratihi. But that does not mean that he will always remain in meditative state or only inside, and he will not interact with the world. Once he knows that the world is not going to provide me anything of joy, the joy lies within me. From that joy he starts working. He does everything out of joy, not for getting joy out of his work, but he works out of joy. It is a spontaneous outcome of his being, of his joyous being, of his blissful being. Whatever he does, it is a spontaneous outcome of his soul. That is called the Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriya. That is how Vijanan Vidwan, he becomes Kriyavan. This is the interactive state of a knower. Esha Brahmavidam Varishtaha. He is the supreme amongst the Brahmavid. See, the desire will not go unless we understand the redundancy of desire. That if we understand the mechanism, not only understand, we understand, but we don't take it up, we don't follow, we don't pursue, we lack the dhriti. Suppose what is happening when we want something, that because of that desire the mind is getting disturbed, is remaining disturbed. And when we get it, for a while the desire subsides and the mind becomes peaceful. The moment the mind becomes settled, mind becomes peaceful, the joy which is always coming from within, that we are able to feel. But that state does not remain, because very soon some other desire creeps in and again makes the mind disturbed.